Hey there, everyone. Welcome again to the Legal Seagull. This is Near Lerner, Editor-in-Chief, and I'm going to be discussing today in this brief episode the difference between an affidavit and a declaration. The terms are used interchangeably, but there really is a minor difference between the two, and I figured I'd share that with you today. This could be a really nice, sweet morsel of legal trivia to share at your next networking event or cocktail party. This is the kind of stuff that'll make you the life of the party. Also, if you're on a date and you're really looking to impress someone special, just pull out this sweet little tidbit and share it with them, and I guarantee you a life of happiness together. I'm kidding, of course. I really wouldn't try. It's not that interesting. What is an affidavit? According to Black's Law Dictionary, an affidavit is a voluntary declaration of facts written down and sworn to by the declarant, usually before an officer authorized to administer oaths, such as a notary public. Now, also, in addition to notary publics, in some states you have commissioners, justices of the peace, and in some states as well, an attorney can act as a notary. Although here in California, where I practice, you don't automatically become a notary just by virtue of being a lawyer. They still make you take the test. So that kind of sucks. Another bit of vocabulary here is that a person who signs an affidavit is an affiant, not an affidaviter. That means nothing. What is a declaration? Likewise, just to keep things consistently, I'm going to use the definition contained in Black's Law Dictionary for declaration. It's defined as a formal statement, proclamation, or announcement, especially one embodied in an instrument. A person who makes a declaration is called a declarant. So if you make an affidavit, you're an affiant. If you make a declaration, you're a declarant. What are the similarities between affidavits and declarations? Well, as you heard from the definitions, they're pretty similar. You're making both under oath, so there is a penalty of perjury that's applicable if you don't tell the truth. So you have to tell the truth whether it's called an affidavit or a declaration. The second is that both an affidavit and a declaration typically start when the affiant or the declarant makes some statement in the beginning of the document as to who they are, what their basis is of the knowledge they're about to make a declaration on or an affidavit, and some sort of basis for what it is they're saying. So, for example, let's say we had the accountant of the legal Seagull making some declaration for some reason. He or she may start by saying, I am a licensed CPA. I have been an accountant for 20 years, and for the last 10 years, I've been the accountant for the legal Seagull, and I'm familiar with documents and with the completion of those and identifying signatures. And based on that, I declare that this and this and this, because you want to have some sort of understanding of who the person is. If someone is declaring something under oath, there needs to be a factual basis. Both declarations and affidavits are at least supposed to be made with someone with knowledge of the facts contained in them, although unfortunately sometimes attorneys try to get away with putting in declarations or affidavits of people who don't have firsthand knowledge, but that's a different topic. And like I said earlier, these are often used, whether it's a declaration or an affidavit, in legal proceedings such as court proceedings, and every court's different. Some courts require affidavits, some courts require declarations, some will permit either, so you need to check to make sure. But in essence, these are the similarities. What is the difference between affidavits and declarations? Well, you may have guessed it, or you may have heard it earlier in the definitions, but it wasn't necessarily obvious unless you were paying a lot of attention, and if you were, good for you. The main difference is that an affidavit, unlike a declaration, is made before a notary public or before a commissioner of the court or someone who is authorized to administer an oath. Why do they do that? I'm not entirely sure. Some people feel that you're less likely to tell a lie or lie in a document if you have to sign it in the presence of someone else, like a notary public or a judge. Maybe that makes it a bit more official, and so people are more likely to tell the truth. I don't know if it's necessarily true. In my years of practice, I've seen people lie in all kinds of circumstances, whether it's declarations or affidavits or court testimony. So my personal belief is if you're going to lie, if you're going to violate your oath to the court, then you're going to do it regardless. But that is technically the main difference. That an affidavit, you have to go before a notary public or someone else and sign it. A declaration, on the other hand, is not signed before someone else. The declarant signs it, but typically states will require, or federal court as well, will require some sort of language to the effect that it's under penalty of perjury. So there it is. Now you know something that very few people know, and you are going to be the life of the party. Go out there, be amazing. For more information for pro se and pro per parties and for attorneys on how to be your best advocate in court, for free resources, articles, and videos, check out thelegalseagull.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel by pressing the little red subscribe button on YouTube videos. When you're on the road and looking for something to listen to, check out the Legal Seagull podcast, available on iTunes, Stitcher, and everywhere else that podcasts are available. Until next time, stay legal.